welcome back. Thanks for sticking with me. Hope you're finding it useful. Hope you're finding it interesting. By now we would have done those little forward folds and the standing sequence. We'd have moved through Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A, and this week we're just going to add a couple of poses to move into Sun Salutation B, Surya Namaskar B. Most of which you all have done from A. It's just a couple of modifications, a little bit of an addition of a couple of poses. So we're just going to start with Utkatasana, chair pose. It's a strong pose, so be kind. So big muscles in play. We've got 4 muscles in the thighs, in the quads here. We've got 4 muscles in the hamstrings. We've got glutes, 3 muscles there, and it's the biggest muscle in the body, the glutes. So lots of oxygen into the body. Feeding on the inhale, cleansing on the exhale. Okay, so the breath is important. Make sure you are breathing. I know when you're learning something new, tendency is that we kind of hold our breath because we're really focusing, but it's important to breathe all the time. Okay, yeah. So what do I see? Feet position, again, not overly concerned about, as I've said about, find what stance is right for you. We want the feet parallel where possible. We don't want to be turning the knees, toes out, because that'll take the knees out. And if the knees are turned out, we don't want the knees, because it's just twisting into the knees. So try and get the feet parallel, even if they're wider than the hips. Over time, we'll find our way, feet closer together where that is possible. What I tend to see is that bum sticking out. Okay, so lordosis here, the bum sticking out, arching into the back, excessive arching. Either people are super low, trying to get super low but not lifting their hands, or people are really high. Slightest little kink in the knees, that bum sticking out, chest poking out, arms out, looking straight up, or tucking the chin down. So it's like it's chair pose. It's not bar stool, it's chair pose. So we want a bit of a squat, just a bit. Okay, and we don't want that lower back compression. We're posteriorly tilting the pelvis. We're bringing the hips through. We're scooching the hips through and underneath. So the front's lifting up, literally like you're going to sit on a chair. You don't sit on a chair like that. You sit down. Okay. So get your feet position. I'm going with toes together, heels slightly apart. Your preference for your body may be different. That's fine. I tend to teach bend the knees, sweep the arms, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to soften into the knees. Softening down into the knees. We're not going 90 degrees. We don't need the thighs 90 degrees, okay? Softening into the knees, roughly 45 degrees angle here. And that lower back, that posterior tilt, so we're not sticking the bum out. Pull the pelvis through. Posterior tilt like we're pouring drink out the butt. Shoulders retract. Nice and neutral through the spine, so we've got a relatively flat back. Arms lift up. Again, aiming to get a relatively straight line from the wrist down through the shoulders, down to the hips. Maybe the gaze goes up between the hands, shift the weight to the heels. Maybe a little wiggle of the toes, not the fingers, I know you're doing it, just the toes. And breathe. Feed the body as you in, cleanse the body on the out. Good. It's just release. Good. How did that feel? It's strong. Strong in the thighs. Strong in the hips here, pulling through. Strong in the shoulders, in the upper back. So again, it's focusing on what is engaging. What's lengthening, what's engaging. Okay, you might find some postural deviations here. If you've got tight lats, it's hard for the arms to come up. It can be tight in the chest as well for the arms to come up. So there may be some variations here. But again, the more you do it, the more you start to engage the right muscles and lengthen other muscles, you're going to start to see the improvement. Not that it's right or wrong, but you'll start to see the development of your practice coming along. You'll start to lengthen some of those muscles, those tighter muscles. You'll start to strengthen some of the other muscles. Again, see, as an example, over the years, I've had a fear of being seen. So again, a little bit philosophical, a little bit deep. I've had a fear of being seen. So what you do when you hide away is you kind of hunker down, don't you? You walk into a room, you're not confident, you're not bolshy. You kind of hunker down, you round into the back, and you drop your head. Okay? As a result of that emotion and that fear, yeah, these muscles across here are shortened into my pecs. The muscles around my rhomboids and up the back have lengthened. Okay? And the muscle memory starts to come into play, and the head drops down. And because of that, I got an injury. Can't remember what it was. Something to do with a ligament over lengthening. But I had an injury in my neck, emanating from my shoulder, right up the back of my neck, up into the back of the head. And that's because my muscles, my body got used to short at the front, long in the back, and then there was no strength in the back. So as posteriorly corrected, I've been doing rhomboid exercises, rows, straightening up, and I've been doing heart openers, a little bit more yin heart openers, focusing on opening up through the front of the body, strengthening the back of the body. And because of that, the pain has gone. I'm not there posteriorly correct, posturally correct, but the pain has gone and it's starting to correct. I'm holding myself better. I've got a much better posture just through adaptation of adjusting muscles, strengthening certain muscles, lengthening other muscles. And this is exactly what we're doing in yoga poses. If you're here and you're doing this kind of thing, then what are you engaging? If you're not even squatting, you're just sticking your bum out, you're getting lumbar support here, compression here, you're not strengthening, you're not engaging the thighs, you're not engaging the muscles. The shoulders are relaxed here, you're not pulling the shoulders back and lifting up, you're not strengthening into the rhomboids, you're not opening up through the chest. Okay? If you're just here, just kind of like, yeah, it's alright. What are you doing physically? And part of yoga, yoga is all about settling the fluctuations of the brain. Yeah? It's an important part of yoga. And if you're just here doing whatever you're doing, just thinking about the fairies and going, ooh, this is nice, then you're not focused on the body. You're not here, you're not present, you're not meditating. Focus without concentration. You're not concentrating on being present. You are being present. You're feeling into the body. As soon as you come into the pose, you feel it. You feel what's engaging, you feel what's lengthening, you feel what's strengthening. You just naturally find the pose. And it feels good. Because your awareness is in the body. That's yoga. That's that connection. That's that yuj. Okay? So, a little bit off piece there. But toes together, we'll do it one more time. Toes together, heels slightly apart, or wider stance if that's more suitable for you. Softening the knees. Keep the knees together if they're here. Roughly that 45-degree angle. Pelvis, posterior tilt, pouring water out the back of the pelvis. Sweep the arms. Shoulders retract. Maybe the gaze goes up between the hands. Weight to the heels, maybe a little wiggle of the toes, not the fingers. I know you're doing it. Everybody does it. Good. Keep that awareness. Feed the body. Breathe. Beautiful. Well done. Just release. Well done. So you start to feel the quads engage. You start to feel that pelvis pulling through. Start to feel the weight shifting back, which helps the quads engage. Shoulders retracting. You feel a little bit of an opening through the pectorals. It's really good. Well done. See you next time.